Communist Party Congress began yesterday in Beijing. And Xi Jinping, the president of China and general secretary of the Communist Party, made a very lengthy speech where he praised himself for all the good things that he has done and all the things he has accomplished. So before we dissect the points one after the other, please watch this video.
That opening speech has just wrapped up. It lasted around 1 hour and 45 minutes, much shorter than the 3 hours and a few minutes we had back 5 years ago. There wasn't anything particularly new or surprising in President Xi's speech. You could almost play a bingo with the words he used: rejuvenation, modernization, and of course his favorite phrase, socialism with Chinese characteristics for a new era. That is, of course, the name of his thought. He also mentioned COVID strategy and saying that it was praised abroad, that very strict zero COVID policy that's been going on in China for the past 3 years. He talked about Hong Kong, saying that order was restored. But the biggest rounds of applause happened when the president mentioned Taiwan. He said, this is a rough translation: we will never promise to renounce the use of force, and we reserve the option of taking all necessary measures. Reunification must be realized, and without a doubt it will be done. So this was an occasion for President Xi Jinping, as the Chinese Communist Party's Secretary General, to summarize the past 5 years of leadership and to kind of give a blueprint of what's to come in the 5 years to come. It is, if you'd like, a sort of Chinese version of the State of the Union.
Okay, my brothers and sisters. So Xi Jinping is now cementing his third term in power, like I mentioned. So let's start with fighting corruption. Xi Jinping has purged millions of people under the so-called anti-corruption or fighting against corruption. Like I mentioned in my previous video, all the people he has purged are corrupt. In fact, everyone in the Communist Party is corrupt. No one is safe. They are all corrupt. It's not just in the Communist Party. It's like everywhere. Politicians are corrupt. Point final. They are all corrupt. So he used the quote-unquote fight against corruption to go after his political rivals. It was a purge. And who can blame him? In the Communist Party, it's do or die. Everyone is fighting to get ahead, and everyone is fighting to stay alive. You cannot blame him for purging all his political rivals, because if he hasn't done that, they would have done it to him. You see the irony, right? No one is a good guy in the Communist Party. They are all very, 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 very bad people, in the sense that they want to get ahead. And they will do whatever it takes for them to get ahead. For that one, he has done a great job in purging all his rivals. And he also talked about bringing peace back in Hong Kong. Well, that one was kind of an easy thing for him to do, because remember, Hong Kong was promised a certain level of autonomy when the British handed it back to China. Hong Kong was relatively very peaceful, as far as I know, until Xi Jinping came in and ignited certain policies that the Hong Kong people were very angry, and that was why they started protesting. It was like he wanted them to protest, and then he quashed all the protest. He has been very successful in quashing the protests in Hong Kong. So I think from now henceforth, Hong Kong won't see any huge protest, because it has all been quashed. And that is really great. You know, Xi Jinping is a master of governance, right? He knows exactly what to do. But if there's one thing that he has not succeeded, that in my opinion, I think is a great failure, is the zero COVID policy. That is still ongoing in China. When COVID hit, people didn't understand what it was all about, and many countries around the world locked off their country to kind of control the whole spread. But 2 years now, we've understood what this pandemic is all about, and many people are now, or many countries have opened up. But China is like, no, we are still following through with our policy, which is really, really bad for the Chinese economy and the Chinese people. So for that one, I think that he has not done a very good job. And I do not understand if what we see from the media is different from the reports he gets from his people in the field. But I think zero COVID has not been a very successful policy in China. And the next one he mentioned is about unification of Taiwan, either by peaceful means or by force. For that one, I think that that ship has sailed. Unification of Taiwan is, in my opinion, is never going to happen. Taiwanese people have tasted democracy. They cannot come back to authoritarianism. Taiwanese people have a system where they directly choose their leader. They cannot come back to a system whereby just a few people will choose a leader. Taiwanese or Taiwan is a democracy. They have their own passport, they have their own currency, they have their own leadership. In fact, they have their own military. Taiwan is doing pretty well for itself. So I think this same Taiwan question, in my opinion, will end up by Taiwan being recognized by nations around the world. It's just a matter of when. So I do not believe for a second that Taiwan will ever unify with China. And China invading Taiwan, they can try, but I do not think they will succeed. You have to remember what Taiwan is to the rest of the world. And if they do, they might just end up in the same situation like Russia. But to you guys out there, what do you think about Xi Jinping's lengthy speech? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section below. We would like to know what you think about it. And also, if you came across any story on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, or even on TikTok that you thought is worth sharing with the rest of the world, please send it our way through any of our social media platforms. Find them on this channel description section. Please kindly support the channel with $1 or more through the crowdfunding website Patreon or directly to us through our PayPal account. You have no idea how far your supports and donations take us, and we shall forever be grateful. Find all related links and how you can support us on this channel description section. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one.